I'll defend her. That's what I said, right there in the middle of a federal courtroom mop in one hand, my heart in the other. I didn't plan it. Hell, I barely planned on living through that week, but sometimes you see a person about to drown and you just jump in. Maybe that's stupid. Maybe that's what makes us human. You know what I mean? When I spoke, the whole room froze. The bailiff took a step forward, looking like he was about to escort me straight to a holding cell, but I just squared my shoulders. Sir, you're not authorized to be here. Yeah, I know, but someone had to say something. Across the courtroom, Vivian Stormies, that Vivian Storm, tech visionary, billionaire, headlines for breakfast sat alone, her lawyer's chair empty, her expression stuck somewhere between fury and surprise. She locked eyes with me, and for a second, I thought she'd tell them to haul me out. Instead, she just whispered, "You're the janitor." "Yes, ma'am," I replied. "Still am. But I know what they're trying to do to you." That's when the judge chimed in, asking if I was licensed. Nope, never passed the bar, dropped out at NYU law life, got messy. Lost my wife, had a little girl to raise, took a job mopping floors to pay for groceries. But you never stop noticing things. I told him I'd studied every inch of the case, thick folder in hand, and there was something off metadata, digital fingerprints, and IP address from Zurich, not New York, and language that didn't match Vivian's team. The room rippled. Some laughed, some rolled their eyes, but not the judge. He let me speak, just for the hearing. Vivian gave the faintest nod, maybe out of curiosity, maybe out of desperation. Sometimes that's all you need. So I laid it out how the contract was tampered with overseas, how someone on the inside set her up. The prosecutor tried to wave me off, but facts are facts. The judge called a recess, said we'd look at the evidence in the morning. As everyone filed out, Vivian stopped me. "If you embarrass me in that courtroom again," I just nodded. "Tomorrow's my chance to fix that." Let me back up a sec. I'm Jacob Lane, single dad, janitor, ex-law student. I'd seen Vivian Storm from a distance for 3 years. The click of her heels, the scent of her perfume, the mug she used black, gold trim, no logo. But never more than a shadow. Until yesterday. Now, I sat on a bench outside the courthouse, folder open, replaying the whole mess in my head. My daughter's words echoed. "You're not a janitor, Daddy. You're just undercover." You ever have a kid believe in you so much, it makes you brave? That's what got me here. The next morning, the air inside the courtroom was electric. The gallery was packed, reporters scribbling, sharks circling. Prosecutor Marshall Kent grinned like he already won, but I wasn't backing down. I placed a folder on the clerk's desk. The prosecution claims Ms. Storm altered a contract, but this amendment, I tapped the paper. It was formatted by someone from Zurich, signed from a Swiss IP. And here's the chain of custody emails, metadata, original SEC filings. The judge's clerk confirmed the evidence, and for a heartbeat, it was like the whole room tilted. Vivian stood up, asked for a closed-door review of her staff's access credentials. The judge granted it. As we left, she looked at me. "You held on to that document." I just shrugged. People underestimate janitors. She almost smiled. That's when things got weird. She remembered her former assistant, Paul Temple, had sudden access to her overseas signature token and vanished after the SEC inquiry began. That's a twist, right? The bad guy wasn't who anyone thought it was, the one standing closest, invisible by design. That night, back in Queens, I found Paul's old planner code for his Zurich storage locker. I tracked it down, found a sealed envelope marked L. Inside, a memo from Alter Holdings outlining a strategy to destroy Stormtech, profit from litigation, frame Vivian, and buy out the company once her reputation was in ashes. There was even a spreadsheet projected profits from controlled implosion. That's how cold these people were. I took it to Vivian. Her hand shook as she read, realizing they planned to buy her silence with her own ruin. "You know what this means?" she whispered. "Yeah," I said. "We're not playing defense anymore." I called an old law school buddy, Reggie, now a journalist. He flipped through the files, muttered, "This is engineered collapse." I needed him to dig deep, find a chain of custody so tight the other side couldn't wiggle out. Because if I submitted it alone, they'd gut me on the stand. Court resumed. I sat in the witness box, Prosecutor Kent circling like a vulture. You're a janitor, right? Yeah, and I see a lot from the ground up. So you claim to have uncovered a conspiracy? No. I claim that while everyone looked past the janitor, I was the only one who noticed the signatures didn't match. I wasn't always a janitor, I told them. I left the law after my wife died. Sometimes, justice isn't about where you stand, it's about whether you show up. Vivian's lawyer got up, asked why I did all this. I looked over at my daughter and said, because Vivian Storm built something my little girl believed in. I wasn't going to let her be torn down just because someone thought no one would notice. You could feel the jury listening, really listening, maybe for the first time. When the verdict came, the jury found in favor of Vivian Storm. The courtroom didn't explode in cheer snow. It was quieter than that, like everyone just realized justice could actually happen, even in a place like this. Outside, Vivian met me on the courthouse steps. You won, I said. She shook her head. No, we survived. There's a difference. And for the first time, she looked real, not bulletproof. Life didn't turn into a fairy tale overnight. But the office changed. People saw each other now. Emma, my daughter, wore a junior STEM badge to the first StormTech family open house her idea. Vivian and I, we shared coffee, quiet conversations, hopes that maybe, just maybe we could build something better together. Not as boss and janitor, but as two people who finally understood that power isn't in titles, it's in truth. Sometimes I think about the day I stood up in that courtroom, how scared I was, how close I came to just staying silent. But you know what? Justice doesn't care where you stand. It only cares if you show up. And sometimes the people no one sees are the ones holding up the whole damn building. So, here's my question for you. Would you have spoken up? Or would you have walked away thinking it wasn't your place? Let me know in the comments. Do you believe justice really belongs to everyone or only to those with power? Drop your city or country below. Share your story. Hit subscribe if you want more tales like this, and remember, love is not what you say, it's what you do. Thanks for listening.